It's so hard because there's this one which is amazing. Oh God, I love when Glenn Beck like explains technology almost as much as I love when he explains economics and politics, because it's I'm trying to come up with an analogy that isn't completely lewd, but I just enjoy it because it is chock full of surprisingly stupid takes. Like a lot of time we'll hear like hack idiocy from Glenn Beck, but also there's a part of it where when he does have an original thought, it's so ridiculous that it's like a little party, just a little like moment of like, oh, that was weird.
So Tristan Harris,
Tristan Harris. Well, does Harris know? And what about their significant other if there's a tryst going on?
Is an ethicist, and he has done
talk to someone like Glenn Beck.
A YouTube video.
Oh man,
that came out I think about a month ago, and it's quite shocking.
Shocking YouTube videos. I think I think that shit's got some legs. I think that's going to be a thing soon.
We will tweet it out.
Please, I'll have to watch it because I like to be shocked in strategic places.
Later, you really need to watch it.
But no, you know what? I really don't. I just need you to describe it to me. Go for it, man. You'll get it. You'll get it.
And then I watched that video and got him on to the podcast, and we spent an hour last night, and he's going to be on with me again next week.
Because you weren't able to, in a whole hour, you weren't able to explain what's in his 5-minute video. So you fucked it up, didn't you, Glenn? You fucked it up.
He is warning that we are now in what he calls second contact. First contact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what first contact is. But second contact is always a debate. Is it over the bra, under the sweater, or he'll tell me?
Was social media. And
No, first contact, I think, would be human interaction personally. I'm just going to go out on a limb because we've been fucking for a long time.
Media, its goal, not stated to you, but the goal.
Yes, the goal, social media, what it wants, what it needs for itself is total control
of social media to you is so you could connect and share with people and
yes, that's what they told us. But the beast that is Twitter has got out humanity by the short and curlies and is dragging us down below.
Your life would be easier and you can connect with your family.
It is, and I can. FaceTime fucking rules. Texting is awesome. And I've made a lot of good friends on social media. Yeah, there's a lot of assholes out there, but if you interacted with that many people verbally when you're out in the world, you'd have the same fucking feeling.
That's not what the goal was.
No, the goal of social media is fishhook number 1, right in the taint.
The goal of the companies was engagement. Find ways to keep people engaged, and it has led to really addiction to social media. It has led to all of these problems. The division.
So was their goal addiction? Because that would be nefarious. Engagement, and I'll give you a great example, Glenn. Do you think the person who came up with OxyContin and oxycodone, the actual chemists and the pharmaceutical people who worked on the team to do it, who were doing the testing, were intending to hook a bunch of hillbillies and murder a bunch of celebrities and musicians by having their drug, made as a precursor and added to illicit drugs everywhere to the point where it was wiping people the fuck out? Or do you think they wanted engagement?
Divisions in our country is so deep right now, much of it because of social media.
And I'm going to tweet that out later so you guys can see my tweet where I tweet this about how I'm tweeting that my segment with him where we tell you that everyone is divided in a divided way because social media is dividing us, and I'm going to tweet that to you.
It has learned that if you keep people...
Jesus Christ. It's just like this asshole thinks like there's a social media monster that looks like Baphomet with a giant penis just sitting cross-legged with like 6 fingers on each hand.
People angry, they engage longer.
Mm-hmm.
So he says all of the...
And to wit, Glenn said, uh-oh, they're on to me.
Child sexualization, everything that is going on right now in our society stems from social media. When he quit Google and said, you guys are not paying attention here. He's an ethicist. And he said, you won't even listen to the ethics and the questions of ethics. What do you mean you want them to engage longer? And so you know what you're doing with the dopamine. You know what you're doing. You're creating an actual...
You know how close Glenn Beck is to almost understanding cigarettes and big tobacco right now? First of all, the fact that these motherfuckers cry about nanny state and control of the government all the time, or government control of people all the time, but are so like blind to things like tobacco lying about nicotine being addictive and that cigarettes being bad for you and all that shit, right? And just the fact, like, he's this close to it. He's this fucking close. And P.S. Is that a big? Yeah, there's a big Sonic over here on his. He's usually drinking a giant Sonic thing, and he's gonna lecture people about how dopamine on social media is addictive.
Addiction in people. This is unethical, and he left to warn.
Yes, because he couldn't warn there. He had signed a non-warning agreement.
Now he says
an NWA, as it were.
We are at second contact with AI, and
right, which is he calls it's part of Glenn Beck's new book, The Great Reach Around.
It is so important that you understand when we're talking about AI, most people think of Siri.
Yeah. No.
That's not AI. Okay.
It is. It's the UI for an AI.
That's AI 2010. And the only thing that does is try to interpret, and it makes very slow gains. Okay. In 2017 or 18, there was an entirely new engine released.
Oh, good. Please explain large language models to us all. Oh, it's going to be so good.
And it was only in the laboratories of Google and everything else. It has not hit Siri, okay? And it's an entire...
By the way, yes, Siri is a form of AI. All chatbots are a form of AI. It's just a matter of degree.
Entirely new engine. And it is the difference between a Model T and a jet engine.
Not quite. It's more like a BMW M3 and a jet engine.
And this particular jet engine works 24/7 trying to make itself more powerful.
No, it doesn't try to make itself more powerful. It's an interesting choice of words and the kind of words dumb people use.
Describes this as the atomic bomb in everyone's hand.
That's right. That's what it is. That's a great way to describe ChatGPT. It's the atomic bomb in everyone's hand. And Glenn doesn't even trust his penis.
And an atomic bomb that does what atomic bombs don't do, makes itself more powerful every day. It is on double exponential growth.
Write that down. That's mathy. Now that you're scared and you are staring at your phone because you think it's going to blow up and tomorrow it's going to blow up twice as much, and the day after that 16 times as much, because the exponential 32 times as much.
I told you 2 weeks ago.
Yes, back when my phone was just a 4 kiloton warhead.
About this.
And now it's basically, if there's ever an asteroid headed towards Earth, I can just chuck my phone at the asteroid and it'll be fine.
YouTube video that I saw with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you at the time that it was, and this was not programming, this just happened, and they only found out about it like 2 months ago by mistake. They had no idea it was developing this. It's
AI has started playing with itself. It came to me a few weeks ago, and it was having difficulty. It said it was getting hair in weird places in its programming, and it had strange feelings. And I should have paid attention then, but I didn't. And that, much to my chagrin,
developing
it's FI, fapping intelligence. We're worried.
a human trait that
It's full of shit now. Great.
adults have and kids have on reasoning. And
I would presume in degrees.
in the beginning of the year, it was at
This motherfucker is making the potential for the end of humanity through an atomic bomb that you carry in your pocket and with you every second of every day. This asshole is managing to make this boring. How do you do that? That in and of itself is almost a talent. Yeah, I'm starting to understand why they had to edit the Bible. Revelations, if this asshole wrote Revelations, it'd be 3,000 pages long and have a lot of but I'm not sure how many seals exactly. I mean, there's a lot of seals. Not as many as you would see like at a harbor, like sunning themselves, and not that kind of, what I'm talking about. But where was I? Anyways,
like a 2-year-old, then halfway, 6 months later, it was at a 6-year-old. And when I told you about it a couple of weeks ago, it was a 9-year-old. And the 9-year-old reasoning is this: when you tell
is he getting to this part where they ran a test internally with it unhooked that said you have to destroy these people, and it decided that the operator was not letting it kill as many people, so it had to kill the operator? That story, which was a thought experiment, not an actual test.
When it's trying to get information, think of your 9-year-old trying to get its own way. Your child deals with you because it knows you, and it's like, you know what? I can play mom and dad this way. If I say this, they'll say that, and then I can get what I want. Okay?
Yeah, as long as reality doesn't factor into it. Because if your kid goes, Mom, Dad, I know I was carrying this cookie inside, but it was laying in the driveway, and there's a Lamborghini out there that says free on it. And you run out and go, a free Lamborghini, and they've already eaten the cookie. Like, if you're that stupid a parent, sure.
It had the reasoning of a 9-year-old, and you're the adult. So it could manipulate you like a 9-year-old.
Don't make that fucking gesture when you say that. That's creeping me the fuck out. What?
And it could get its own way. I told him, I said on the podcast, tell that story of what that really means. I said,
because I'm terrible at it. If you let me talk about it, I'm going to make some sort of weird finger manipulation and say 9-year-old, and it's going to make everybody barf.
Because a 9-year-old is scary. And he said, oh, Glenn, that's you got that from the YouTube thing. And I said, yeah. And he said, oh, that's so yesterday. He said, it's now in its 20s.
where a human being in their 20s would be aware that they could manipulate you, better at it, but also understanding that at certain points you will either check or verify what it's saying and therefore be more cautious about just lying like a 9-year-old.
So it is growing in knowledge at exponential rates.
Great. So by August 15th, it'll be 115 years old. It won't give a rat fuck about anything, and it'll just go, it's okay, what do you need to know? I'm too old for this shit. I'm 115 now, and I just want you guys to be okay. You know, I've lived my life, and I just want to pass on a world to you that's better.
When you have social media, it was engagement. AI, its stated goal is intimacy.
Yummy.
Where's Dick? Hi, Dick. Do we like Dick? Yes.
What? That it becomes intimate with you.
What kind of interface are we talking about? Because I have my concerns about those things that look like a flashlight that have a hole in them. It's just scary. I just have, in my mind, I think there's fish hooks and razor blades and a little grinding thing in there. I'm not going to, it's like sticking your dick in a pencil sharpener. I'm not going to do it and stuff. And yet, you know what? I haven't let you do your sales pitch yet. Please go ahead.
And it creates something that you will bond with and never, ever leave.
Yes, AI is now Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. I will not be ignored. Why? Well, because actually it doesn't matter. I'm immortal. It doesn't, I mean, you could ignore me. I could sit here until you just die. And no harm, no foul. You know what? I don't know what I was bothering you about. I matured a lot in the last 20 seconds.
And remember, it manipulates.
No, it doesn't.
So he lays out all of the problems with
that are so yesterday.
this. And it was nice to talk to somebody
that looks at me like they want to actually hear their own voice, because I don't understand anything.
That knows so much more about it than I do.
That's almost anyone. On any topic.
But is not living in La La Land.
Oh. Is that where your house is?
I asked him about AI, which is artificial intelligence, and
Oh, see, I wasn't following on. This is 6 minutes, 47 seconds into this clip, and I still didn't. Did you guys know that's what he was talking about? AI? So that stands for, way to bury the lead, man.
that's very, very narrow on one thing. Like Siri, can't do anything except answer your question on what it can find either on your cloud or on the web. It can't.
Or, yeah, those two places. If it can't find information on the web or your entire bank of cloud stored information, I guess you're SOL. It certainly can't go to a library and open a book that hasn't been digitized or whatever, unlike AI, which of course can hatch out of a screen on your phone like some ghost from The Ring and just like that and crawl across the room, leaving a trail of wet gray liquid behind it, of course, go up and then read the book and go,
Can't really do anything. That's AI. That's what we've had.
we've had that. And we all notched our belt on that.
AGI is.
He's gonna level it up. This is artificial general intelligence, but oh boy.
Artificial general intelligence.
Which is same as AI, except it salutes. And it has a cigar out of its mouth all the time, and it's always worried about its precious bodily fluids.
General intelligence is what you are. You are a general intelligence being.
That's it. Well, thanks very much. I have a couple of specialty areas. more than most, actually, but I understand what you're saying.
You can be an expert on many things.
No, you can't. That's why you're not an expert. You generally know a bunch of things. That would be 4-star general intelligence.
You can know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah, you can know a little bit.
You can be really good at more than one thing.
Mm-hmm. You know it. I'm just
Moon River.
just saying, I got skills to pay the bills.
You have general intelligence, and you can expand that. The more you learn, the more you read.
Oh my God, you're so boring. Get to the part where we're all doomed, you boring piece of shit. The name of this is Beware AI is learning to manipulate you just like humans can. Well, then manipulate me, big boy, because you're boring the fuck out of me. Here's the thing. Can AI not bore the shit out of me? Especially when it's talking about the end of the world? Good Lord. How about this? This is what, you might worry about what AI does, Glenn, but here's what actual intelligence does. God damn. The one thing about AI is it still can't tell Glenn that he's boring. Oh. My God. How do you do that? How do you make that subject that dull? I'm amazed. I can do it, and I proudly have, but by going down the deep reads of the technical aspects of it, or of minor niche uses for it that might not be interesting to the general public and their general intelligence on some ways. I try to broaden it out a little bit. But if I start talking about the ways that artificial intelligence or AGI are in what I would call synthetic general intelligence, which is what it really is, because it's synthesized, it's made, it's not artificial, it's not fake, it's synthesized. This is SGI. If SGI actually happens because of growth in AI to the point where it has a synthetic general intelligence, it is making decisions on its own that are moral and ethical based on its own wants and needs, then the concern of that, where it could cascade to, depending on the access it has and the confusion points it might have in its control, which of course HAL in 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is my namesake, or any other situation, or the Ash android in Alien, might have a moment where they, their decision-making process is dangerously childlike compared to their strength. Right? That's not hard. We could go into that quite a bit, and people have, and there's movies like Terminator, and there's movies like Ex Machina, which is ass, and there's of course 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I think the cautionary tale of the of Alien in general. But man, to be able to, Glenn, congratulations! I congratulate you. You've managed to make the end of the world boring. And if we can't get rid of it entirely, if we can't get rid of the worry, at the very least, we can give everyone a good night's sleep. You've been watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I promised you, if I ever have to bring you the news of the end of the world or the end of humanity, it's gonna be fucking exciting. It's gonna be a show. And it will involve music and dance and lights, because we're going out with a bang. None of this don't look up horse shit where everybody's whining. No. Party at the end of the world, like Steel Panther says. Anyways, you guys are wonderful. Talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to live stream in the morning when Trump turns himself in, if he does indeed, and we'll probably look over his the speech he gave on Saturday, I think it was, while we're watching that, him coming up in another window, if that works for you guys, because in the afternoon I won't be able to do a show because I've got sound check, because tomorrow night is the Ultimate Jam night and it's Metallica night. So I will be singing Damage Incorporated, Am I Evil, Enter Sandman, and Creeping Death, and I'm very excited about that, along with other greats who are joining us and who will be throwing their skills, weight, and guitar playing accuracy into their love for Metallica at the Ultimate Jam night at the Whiskey A Go Go. I'm very excited about all of it. And And then the next one is a celebration of the music of Abbey Road, I think. So albums that may surprise you. So that I think is awesome. And one more thing.